Welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into the crucible of World War II, a global conflict so massive, so devastating, it reshaped the very map of our world. We often hear about the battles and the body counts, but what about the ideas behind the bloodshed? The strategies and tactics that dictated the movements of millions and decided the fates of nations? Today we're exploring the top 10 most successful tactics of World War II, dissecting the thinking behind them and examining their impact on the war's terrifying trajectory. Imagine, if you will, the terror of witnessing the German war machine firsthand. This wasn't the static trench warfare of the previous World War. This was a new kind of horror, a mechanized blitzkrieg. Tanks spearheaded the assault, punching through enemy lines with shocking speed and ferocity. But the real innovation lay in the coordination. The Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, acted as flying artillery, softening up defenses and sowing chaos from above. Then came the infantry, pouring through the gaps, overwhelming the enemy before they could even react. The Low Countries, France, even the vast expanse of Russia, all felt the sting of the blitzkrieg in the early years of the war. Now let's shift our focus to the Pacific Theater, a war of island chains and vast distances. The Japanese, entrenched on countless islands, presented a formidable challenge to the advancing Americans. Instead of a direct assault on every Japanese stronghold, a costly and time-consuming endeavor, the Americans adopted a new strategy: island hopping. The idea was simple yet audacious. Bypass heavily fortified islands, focusing instead on capturing key strategic locations. These islands would then become stepping stones, providing air bases and supply depots for the next leap forward, drawing the noose tighter around the Japanese empire. Both sides in this global conflict embraced the terrible new paradigm of strategic bombing. Cities, factories, even entire populations became targets. The aim wasn't just to cripple the enemy's war machine, but to break their will, to sap their morale. The roar of bombers, the whistle of falling bombs, the terrifying infernos that consumed entire city blocks. This was a new kind of warfare, one that blurred the lines between soldier and civilian, leaving an indelible scar on the 20th century. Enigma code breaking, the secret war. Hidden beneath the surface of the conflict, a different kind of battle raged, a war of minds, of ciphers and codes. At Bletchley Park, a secluded estate in England, a team of brilliant minds waged war, not with bullets and bombs, but with algorithms and ingenuity. Their target, the Enigma machine, Nazi Germany's supposedly unbreakable code. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Breaking Enigma meant gaining access to the enemy's most closely guarded secrets, their plans, their movements, their very thoughts. Double cross, a web of deception. War is often described as a chess match, but in the shadowy world of espionage and counterintelligence, it becomes a game of smoke and mirrors. The British, masters of deception, took this to heart with their double cross system. Double agents, individuals seemingly working for the Germans, but in reality, controlled by British intelligence, fed a steady stream of disinformation to the Nazi high command. These weren't just minor deceptions, but carefully crafted fabrications designed to mislead, misdirect, and ultimately alter the course of the war, even influencing the blitzkrieg strategies. Kamikaze, death from above. As the tide of the war turned against Japan, a new and terrifying weapon appeared in the skies over the Pacific: the kamikaze. These weren't seasoned pilots engaging in dogfights. These were men on one-way missions, their aircraft loaded with explosives transformed into guided missiles. To the Japanese military, facing overwhelming American firepower, the kamikaze represented a final, desperate gamble. To the Allied sailors who witnessed these attacks firsthand, it was a horrifying spectacle, a testament to the ferocity and desperation of their enemy. Remember, war is not just about brute force, it's a battle for information, for the enemy's perception of reality. The Allies, masters of this dark art, employed deception on a grand scale. Take Operation Fortitude, for example. Dummy tanks, fake airfields, even phantom armies were staged across Britain. The goal to convince the Germans that the main Allied invasion would land at Calais, not Normandy. The deception worked flawlessly, pinning down German divisions and giving the real invasion force crucial hours to establish a foothold on the beaches of France. Partisan warfare fighting from the shadows. Behind enemy lines in the occupied territories of Europe and Asia, another war raged. This wasn't a war of armies and divisions, but a shadowy conflict of sabotage, assassination, and resistance. These were the partisans, ordinary men and women who took up arms against their oppressors. They were a thorn in the side of the Axis powers, disrupting supply lines, gathering intelligence, and serving as a constant reminder that even in the darkest of times, the flame of resistance could not be extinguished. Amphibious assaults, the landings. The most iconic images of World War II are perhaps the amphibious assaults. The sheer scale of these operations, the coordination of naval, air, and land forces was unprecedented. D-Day, the largest amphibious invasion in history, stands as a testament to the logistical genius and raw courage of the Allied forces. Under a hail of gunfire, men stormed those beaches, inch by bloody inch, securing a foothold in Nazi-occupied Europe. It's a testament to the human cost of war, to the sacrifices made on those blood-soaked sands. Convoy system, protecting the lifeline. In a global war, victory often hinges on logistics, on keeping the supply lines open. For the Allies, this meant winning the Battle of the Atlantic, a relentless struggle against German U-boats preying on merchant ships. The solution, the convoy system. Merchant ships carrying vital supplies were grouped together and escorted by warships. It was a dangerous game of cat and mouse, but the convoy system proved its worth, ensuring that vital supplies reached their destinations. Echoes of war lessons for today. World War II, a conflict of unimaginable scale and brutality, forced mankind to confront the very depths of its capacity for both good and evil. The tactics employed in this global struggle weren't just about winning battles, they were about survival, about outmaneuvering and outsmarting the enemy. As we've explored these top 10 tactics, I hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for the complexities of this conflict, for the ingenuity and the sacrifices of those who fought and died in its shadow.